Debbiedooodah here. I just wanted to pop on today and talk about being overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed with your life, being overwhelmed in business. I've been talking to a lot of clients this week and they're talking about how they've got so many things to do, so many tasks, so many different ways they can market their business, so many people they've got to talk to, their to-do lists are out of control, they're feeling a bit panicky, and that kind of sense of fear sets in and kind of being swallowed up by the ground of all the many things that you've got to do. So I just wanted to pop on here and talk about some things that you could do to help you feel less overwhelmed, because, well, who wants to feel like they're being buried in the shit, that all the things that they've got to do. So the first thing I would suggest that you do, if this is you and this rings true for where you are right now, is just ground yourself in where you are. Go outside, listen to the birds, have a cup of tea, move away from your desk, move away from the laptop, move away from your workbench, get away from that kind of point of stress, go for a walk. I'm not saying do this for the whole day, because obviously we've got loads and loads of things to do, but you will be able to take 10 minutes out. Take those 10 minutes out and go and notice 5 things. Just ground yourself, like listen to the birds, feel the ground beneath your feet, do some deep breathing, look up at the sky, stroke a cat, just sort of do some things that bring you back to that place of centre where you can breathe again, and where it doesn't feel like you've got a pile of books toppling on your head. So that first thing is just go and ground yourself. Then go back to the space where you're working and just sort of look around. It probably is a little bit of a mess if you've got tons of stuff to do. So set yourself a timer on your phone for kind of 15 minutes, put some energizing music on and just declutter. Throw stuff away, make your workspace clear, because if you've got a clear workspace, it's going to help you have a clearer mind. So just take 15 minutes, put some tunes on, get all that stuff off of your desk, throw things away, put things in piles, sort some stuff out. It doesn't have to be uber, like, I'm not saying you have to spend 4 hours doing this, but just create some space in your office or in your workspace where you can just be like, oh, okay, there's not just loads of stuff, pile those books up and put them upright, feed your plants, every so often I realise that my plant is dying and drooping, feed the plants, that'll feed you. So just declutter and create some space for you to breathe. So we've taken out 25 minutes now from the day. We've gone and, we've gone and had a 10-minute, like, woo, hear the birds sing, and then we've cleared our desk. So the next thing I want you to do is write down everything that you have to do. So all those things that are like burning around in your brain and using up those brain cells and making you feel just a little bit panicky and a little bit stressed, write them down. All of them, one by one. Let's just get it all out there, all the things that you feel like you've got to do. Because when they're out of your head and on a piece of paper, they feel a little bit calmer. Maybe that's a whole A side of A4, maybe that's just 5 massive tasks that you've got to do. Whatever it is, just get it down on that list. The next thing you want to do is give that list a makeover. So tart that list up. And what I want you to do is prioritise. Not everything on that list has to be done today or even this week or maybe even this month. So you might have some like really long-term goals, and you might have some massive things that that you want to do. Like I've got my kind of dream big picture here. It's got my big goals on it that will take me to this magic shiny place of aeroplanes and piles of cash and cars and aeroplanes. So we've all got dreams, but not all the things that are kind of weighing you down have to be done this week or today. So go through that list and work out what has to be done this week, what has to be done today, you'll find out not all those lists, all those things on your list have to be done today. And maybe some of those tasks can be broken down into smaller tasks. So, if you want to launch a new product, for example, that's a massive thing to do. So see if you can break that task down into manageable chunks. I love Morocco. I've been there a couple of times, and there's a saying that they have over there, which is slowly, slowly put the camel in the pot. And I love it. You cannot eat a camel in one sitting. It's an effing massive animal. You can eat a camel if you break it down into small chunks and put that in your tagine. So look at these big tasks that you've got as a massive camel and work out, what can I actually consume today out of this camel? What can I actually kind of do? What are those tasks that I can do? So then you've got your task for today. Now the next thing is, multitasking is a myth. It doesn't exist. There's been loads of studies done in university. People feel that they're being really productive by doing a little bit of this, and then they do a little bit of that, and they go over there and they do a little bit of this. It doesn't work. Every time we distract ourselves with a little task, it takes us longer to get back on track with that task in hand. So even just responding to a text message or having a quick look at Twitter because you've had a notification means that when you go back to the task that you're doing, you're losing kind of minutes and thinking, where was I? I need to get back to this thing. So focus on the task in hand. So maybe you've got a diary. I use this. What is it called? It's called the Self Journal. It's got a list of kind of hours in the day that you could possibly work, and then I've got tasks assigned to them. Work out what you can achievably do in that day. It's probably one big task or 3 small tasks alongside doing a bit of marketing and answering those goddamn emails that just never stop coming. So be realistic with what you can do and focus on one thing at a time. Don't be drawn into this multitasking hellhole of insanity. Just focus on one thing at a time. And that's it. That's how you're going to feel overwhelmed. So what are we going to do? We're going to go outside and we're going to smell the roses. And then we're going to just clear the desk a bit so we feel a little bit calmer. Then we're going to write down all the possible things that we've got to do. And then we're going to clean up that list and we're going to work out what needs to be done this week, what needs to be done today, what can be put off. We're going to break those big tasks down into small tasks. We're going to forget that multitasking exists and we're going to focus on one thing. And if you're wondering what that one thing has to be, if you're looking at your massive list of tasks and going, well, it just seems like they all need to be done now. How am I going to clear that out? What is your goal? Where do you want to go? What's the thing that you want to achieve? Like, where do you want to be in a year's time? Some of those tasks are going to get you to where you want to be in a year's time, and they're the ones that you need to focus on. So I hope that helped. Maybe just listening to me babble on in your ears or watching my face for a while has just calmed you down. I really hope so. They're my tips to feeling less overwhelmed. If you've got some, please let me know below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media is all about relationships and interactions, so let's connect. We shouldn't just be talking into a void. And I'll catch up with you next week with some more helpful tips. Mwah! All right, and it's the bank holiday weekend this weekend, so have a fabulous time. Hopefully it stops raining. All right, bye.